Yo, what is up, guys? It is Ethan for now, the one and only, the great. But today we are going to rank the 2025 Indycar drivers on the tier list. Just after the first St. Pete race, since I kind of missed it after, but in the preseason. So let's just get into it. Gonna rank all these guys, and the first one is Jacob Abel. Abel, young rookie. Gonna be starting out. We're gonna be probably battling Louis Foster for Rookie of the Year and Robert, but I don't see him. I think he's gonna be good. I'm gonna put him in detail. I think he's gonna be not gonna get any wins or podiums. I don't think, but he's gonna be definitely up there. Next up, Marcus Armstrong. Now, I added a B minus near here because the just so many drivers, but I'm not gonna use the B minus tier until after like halfway and see what we're doing. But for Marcus Armstrong, has a podium with a slightly worse team than he was last year, but more experience going heading in, and I think he's still gonna be a pretty solid driver. But I don't know if he's gonna be the top of the top, but he will be better than Abel. So I'm gonna put him in. I'm gonna put him in. Put him in B. I'm gonna start off with B. I think that's a good. I think that's a good place to start off him. Connor Daly. My boy Connor Daly had a nice podium last year in half the season he ran with Zincos. I think he's gonna be. I think he might be able to get another podium in a Milwaukee or a Nashville or Iowa. I think he will. I think he's a good driver, but I don't think he's as good as Armstrong simply because he's not as strong on the road courses. And since there's so many road courses, you kind of need that. So I'm gonna put him on the B minus. I know I said I wasn't gonna use any, but I think he's just right below Armstrong. Devlin DeFrancesco, he's back in the series, but not the best. I mean, he did lead those couple of laps at Indy a few years ago, but he's just bringing money, and he's not the best driver, honestly. I gotta put him in F. I mean, maybe D, but I'll stick with D for now. But I think he might get better, but he's been out for so long. Like, I feel like F is just the best. Like, I'm not saying that he's a bad driver, but just coming back from a year of absence and just not having already the best results. I put him for D for now, but I won't be surprised if I move him in F later. Scott Dixon, the Iceman, finished fifth, fourth, finished in top, finished pretty well in the championship last year. He's always gonna be S tier, always S tier, like this guy. Always be S tier. Marcus Ericsson, Indy 500 winner. All right, Santino Ferrucci. He's had a really good run at all the ovals, and I think he's gonna get a podium eventually, but I don't know if he's gonna be like he got in the top 10 in the points, so he was clearly good. So I feel like I put him in B tier. Like, he's a good driver, and he just kind of one of these times something's gonna happen to him on the racetrack, and it's not gonna be the best. Louis Foster. This is the same boat as Jacob Abel. He's the rookie driver. I think he is slightly better though than Jacob Abel. I think he'll edge Abel and Robert we'll talk to later about on the Rookie of the Year. But I think no, they're going to be able to move up throughout the season. I feel like Colton Herta. Colton Herta finished second in the championship last year, I think, or third. But he's gonna have a really good shot at winning the title. But I just don't. I don't think he's as good as Dixon. Like, he's good, but I don't think he's gonna be as good as Dixon. Callum Ilott. He's kind of in the same boat as Devlin. He's a year off, but he did have 4 or 5 races he ran last year with McLaren. But I think he's gonna be better than the rookies. So, but in a new car still, see, like he's a good driver. Has experience, and he raced a decent amount last year too. Even what did he do? WEC, I think he was in the World Endurance Championship. Kyle Kirkwood, he's gonna be another driver to be fighting for this title today. Today, this this year, but I don't think he's going to win it. He'll probably get it on the back on the wins, but I don't think he's going to be a title contender. So I'm putting him in A. Like he's a good driver, definitely. He'd probably get multiple podiums and a couple of wins, but I don't think that's going to be enough for a title. Christian Lundgaard moves from Rahal to McLaren. I think he's definitely a solid driver. He won at Toronto a couple of years ago, but he's never really been consistent. He had that podium in Indy last year, but I think he might get a win if he's lucky. But I don't think he's not as good as Kirkwood, and he's definitely not a championship contender, at least this year. So I'm gonna put him at A for now. Might move him down to B, but he's gonna stick with A for now. David Malukas, Little Dave. This guy gotta get a win eventually. Maybe at Gateway, but this guy is definitely a solid pick. Um, I'm gonna have to put him top of B though, because new team might not be super consistent this year, but maybe next year he'll be really. I think he'll be really consistent. So I'm gonna put him in B for now, but maybe next year he'll be up that A category, fighting for multiple wins on the ovals. But I'm putting him for B for now. Scotty Mack, Scott McLaughlin. He is a multi-time winner. I think he got an oval win now. He's definitely up here fighting for the championship. I think he had a better shot than Herta and Dixon, honestly. I think if Palou doesn't win it, or Power, or Newgarden, I think he'll be the favorite. I think pretty much if any of these four guys don't win the championship, it would be him. So moving on to the next, it's Newgarden. Well, as long as keep the points, like he said in his interview after St. Pete, gonna have a heck of a fight for the championship again this year, especially if he wins back to back to back at the Indy 500. S, maybe A. I think I'm put him at A just because he was don't want to say bad, but very inconsistent last year. So I'm gonna put him at A. He definitely can come out and win the championship if he keeps his points, but who knows? Award. Man, there's a lot of championship favorites on here. He's definitely S tier. He's gotta be a championship favorite for sure. If he gets more wins on the board, he'll be like second or third on here. But just since he hasn't been consistently winning, I feel like he will have a better shot than Herta. But if he doesn't win more than 2 races, I don't know if he's gonna have a shot because he's not that consistent. Unlike Palou and Power, and Power's 23 championship and 22 championship, and then Palou's last all of them. So yeah, Palou S top of it. Do I have to say anything? Like this guy back to back champion winner, championship. If he doesn't win the 500, eventually, then he might start falling off. But he's got to do really well in the 500, and because that's or in all the ovals, like that's his struggle. But last year he was super consistent. He would stay alive in the ovals and wouldn't crash in like the Milwaukee race one where we had the engine issue. Then Power spun. But speaking of Will Power, he was in the fight last year, and I just don't see anything changing this year. I don't know if he's gonna have as good as a shot as he did last year, but I'm gonna try to not be biased or anything, but I think he had another shot. I think he had a better shot than Herta for sure, and maybe a Ward if he stays consistent and doesn't get angry and doesn't DNF from lap one and turns two. But other than that, I think he had a heck of a shot still. Definitely gonna have to adjust this. Ray Hall. Um, Getting up there in age, just like yeah, Dixon Power, but he's been hungry for that another win ever since the GP of a couple of years ago in the August or September, August, I think it was August. But I mean, he's not been super consistent. Ray Hall the whole hasn't been the best. Did we have another Ray Hall driver already? Oh yeah, we have both of the Ray Hall drivers already in D, just because they haven't been super consistent in Vale. But I feel like he's gotta be a C. Like he can able to get there. I think he's gonna be better than Ilot this show, but I don't think he's gonna be better than Connor Daly. But C, I think is a good spot for him. Like he's able to get those like podiums if he top tens. He can get a podium if he really tries in like a road course, like an Indy GP would be perfect. Christian Rasmussen, solid driver. Had a couple of good things happen to him last year, but a lot of bad things, But I guess that's kind of the rookie slump. Maybe hopefully he'll have a big sophomore slump, but I don't think I think he's gonna be a bottom of S, C, not S. I just don't see. I see him doing better than the rookies, but I don't see him being maybe better than Ilot, but I don't see him being better than Ray Hall or Connor Daly on the ovals, or even in any of these guys. But Stingray Rob, if it's, he's gonna if it's on an oval, he might lead laps, might do good, but might fly. But on the road and street courses, he's not as good. But I still see him doing in his third year. I see him being better than Rasmussen, and a new car, especially in an oval, just like his teammate Connor Daly. I think he'll be really solid. Now Felix Rosenquist, this guy hasn't had a win in many years, but he's hungry for it, and he knows how to like get pole and lead laps. So I think he's gonna have a good shot at getting some podiums and wins. I don't think he's gonna be as good as Malukas on the because he's just not as strong on the ovals. Like he's gonna be able to like lead, but he's not consistent on the ovals. So I'm gonna put him right behind Malukas in BTO. I think that's a good spot for him. And then Rossi, new ride, new everything I guess. Been with McLaren in the last couple of years, but I think he's gonna have a heck of a drive. He led some decent laps in St. Petersburg, but I think he's gonna be in this BTO. Maybe right in front of Ferrucci, because he's really solid at the 500, always has been. But the road and street courses, I mean, he can definitely always improve. But on some of these like bigger ovals, he's really solid. Robert Schwartzman, new driver, young driver, and a new team. I, as a rookie, gotta put him in D. He's this guy. I feel like I gotta put him in D. Like he hasn't really proved much, and he's been at a. I don't think he raced much last year. He might have been in F2. Apologize if he was in F2. My bad. But he hasn't been there much. He hasn't had much testing. He hasn't had much IndyCar time. But he's gonna be solid. He's gonna be able to get top, 20, top 15s in some of the races. But he has no idea. Ovals, like road and street courses, he's gonna be fine at. But these ovals, he's never raced on one before. He might get screwed over and might finish last, crashing all of them. We don't know. he might be the best oval driver in existence. We don't know, but I feel like he's gonna have to be at detail, just because oval is such a big part, and all these other guys have done ovals before. Nolan Siegel, really easily could have been the Indy next champion last year, but then moved up to McLaren after incidents happening. But he's a he's an interesting driver. I think he's able to get some top tens this year, maybe a couple of top fives, maybe even a podium. But he's gonna have to be in the B minus. I guess he's still got a lot to prove. He's got a lot to improve and a lot to prove. But yeah, Kiffin Simpson, definitely a interesting driver. Should definitely bring in some cash, but I think he's gonna be a top of detail. He's gonna be able to do. He'll maybe get a couple of top tens, but he's got to stay on the track. That's what he did a lot last year until he didn't, and then he just kind of went downward from there. But he's always, I feel like, in the back. Like I never see him up front. But guy who we have seen up front once in this Renus VK, former winner, in a Dale Coyne car. Definitely gonna be interesting. I think he's gonna be in a detail and a CTM, but he's proved he can qualify this car. So just because of that, I feel like I gotta move him up in B minus. Like, really, St. Petersburg was kind of a surprise, and I was not thinking that he was gonna be up there. But this is our grid for now. So let me I think we need to move a couple of things around, and I think it's gonna be good. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna move these two guys down in F tier, or I guess say will get better tier. They're just maybe detail. We're gonna stick with this. For the C tier, I'm gonna move Isla down to the top of detail. Like, yeah, he's good and all, and like I said earlier, he has a lot of decent experience, but same boat as Devlin, and he hasn't been in a Indycar for about 6-8 months, and it's the new team. I feel like I just gotta change a little bit. This is Rasmussen, Stingray, Rahal. Maybe Rahal might be bumped up a little bit, but maybe like that. Maybe just like that. Oh shoot, my bad. Maybe I like that. Maybe even yeah. And then B minus, I'm gonna move Santino down now, because like he's gonna be good. He's gonna get. I don't know. I like that. I only want to stick with this, honestly. Now, this ATL, I feel like I have to move him down. Because these two guys have legitimate shots to win a championship. And I just feel like him being in a new car, you might not. And all these guys, I'm going to move Herta down to ATL. Because, they still have... This ATL is not like they don't have a shot at championship. They do have a shot at championship. They just have to be super consistent. And Herta was consistent last year, but he hasn't been consistent in previous years. So that's what I'm hoping that he might be not. So, and I'll just might. And then all these, I like this. So this is the full tier list. We have all these S, A, B, B minus, C, D, and then will get better. So I think that's the good tier list. Of course, I made it. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.